Hi and welcome. I'm Haiku. I'm joined by Christo, our CEO here at Fiskal. He brings a wealth of experience, having spent years leading ops and financial management in various sectors, from e-commerce to established manufacturing companies. He knows a thing or two about cloud accounting, inventory management, and financial systems, so I'm really looking forward to picking his brain on these topics. We'll be discussing common pain points of integrating systems, key considerations when transitioning to the cloud accounting, and emerging fintech and accounting trends. Fiskal has been helping businesses of all these things for quite a while now. So we've started this video series to share insights and answer some common questions, and also to educate me as I'm from the marketing department. So I have a thing or two to learn. Thank you. Let's jump right in. So many businesses, especially e-commerce and manufacturing companies, struggle with integrating all the systems that they are currently using. So from sales platforms to inventory management. Could you share some common pain points and some potential consequences of not doing this right?
Yeah, sure. I think one of the main things that people get wrong is they have an incompatible tech stack, right? So I think the easiest way to get past that is to make sure when you design your ecosystem that you have compatible systems. I see that it's quite difficult for companies to build custom codes where the APIs speak to each other, because it's not necessarily difficult to build it, but to spec it correctly, to scope it. So that technical skills is not necessarily within the company to even tell an outsourced party what you want. So I see a lot of incompatible systems, and then just really not having enough skills to really tell people exactly what you want.
Yes.
So that becomes quite an issue. So I suppose the remedy to that is to make sure that you design or choose your tools and systems to have native integrations, which is the sweet spot. I think the main effect or consequence of that is that there are a duplication of tools. So people would have a tool possibly that could do multiple what they need, but just because the data doesn't work well or speak well to each other, they actually use two different tools to do one thing that one tool could possibly do. And then I also see that reporting goes out the window. So that's I think the main thing is that don't have the correct information to make decisions, and ultimately one of the main reasons why we do all of this is to make better decisions. So that's the main consequence, I suppose.
Yeah, that makes sense. So it's essentially you need good data to be able to make good business decisions. So duplication of data is also duplication of effort. So at the end of the day, it just saves you time having the right integrations.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because that's one of the things. So cloud accounting is becoming increasingly popular. Obviously, it's not a magic bullet. But so could you share some key considerations for businesses when they transition to the cloud, especially with regards to data security, scalability, and all that kind of thing?
Yeah, sure. I think once again it's important to make the right decisions in terms of your tech stack overall. In terms of data security, each tool has their own policies or even certifications that they use. So it will be up to you to make sure that whichever tool you use or software that you use, they actually comply to data security certifications and policies. So that is important. But in most cases, the bigger software companies do that. And then scalability. What I've noticed is that many of the tools actually allow you to have dedicated servers. So that allows you to really scale your business in a tool. It costs a bit more, but I suppose that's a price you pay. And the complexity of your operations ultimately drive the number of transactions that needs to happen, and that could influence your scalability. But luckily, you're not stuck with any tool forever. So if you do reach a certain point, you can also always make a move. I think it's important to choose the right tools for the right where you are. Obviously, you want a bit of headroom, but make sure that it can serve you for where your company is at the moment.
Okay, 100%. So basically, also ensuring a smooth integration also depends on just making sure you know what you're looking for. Yeah. Okay. So on that, also then looking ahead, so there's lots of things going on. There's lots of buzzwords being thrown around at the moment. Obviously, AI being one of them. But so what do you see as some emerging trends in fintech and accounting, and what do you think will have the biggest impact on US businesses in the next few years?
Yeah, so I'm seeing a lot of the tools actually incorporating features that was typically used or serviced by only one software company, or let's say, for instance, a payment portal. Now we have companies that are including payments into their software, so they would maybe have approval and payments where they usually just did approvals, or the other way around, which is quite interesting. So I see almost the tools cannibalizing each other a bit. Yeah. I think it's good to a certain extent, because it could allow you to maybe save on subscriptions and have less tools to log into, but you might lose some features where if a company just focuses on one thing, they're probably good at that. So might see that happening. The other thing that I'm just picking up is because of the I would almost say the barrier to entry to create software now with AI assisted coding, there might be a lot of new tools pop up, and I think it's just going to be difficult to discern which tools will actually stay around and keep on developing, because you don't want to align with the tool that's going to run out of business in the next in the next year or two.
That was written in 5 minutes.
Yeah. And where you've aligned your operations, because obviously for each tool you need to write new SOPs, ways of working, all of that. So you don't want to align yourself with a tool that could run out of the business in the next year.
That's actually a very concerning trend that I've seen, because obviously now with people being able to write software quite easily, it's one of those things of jack of all trades, master of none. So if your software can do everything, it maybe won't be good at the one certain thing that you would like it to do. And it also just reminds me of the problem with all these subscription services in general. Obviously, there's lots of TV shows on different subscription models now. You can have Netflix, you can have Amazon Prime, and it just becomes a problem of now you need to choose between the different ones to actually get the shows you're looking for. It sounds like the same thing that's happening with software.
Yeah, and then I think what might happen is you kind of just stick to the tool that you know, and if they release new features, you would just start using their features.
Yeah, just makes sense.
Good for the tool, but you might not be getting the best.
Exactly.
The best workflow. So it could go either way, I suppose.
And that's where the expertise comes in, knowing which one's the best. And how to integrate that specific one.
Yeah.
So that also just flows into what I wanted to ask, is how is Fiskal basically then preparing clients for this kind of transition?
Well, we spend a lot of time researching, so that's the thing. We've got teams that are just researching the right tools. We try and test many tools that come into the market. So that's, I suppose, the only thing we can do is to do just good research and testing, and then advise our clients on which are the best ones for them. Because a certain tool might be great for one client, but not for another client. So It's about building that knowledge, a lot of research, a lot of testing.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Choosing the right fit, that probably takes a lot of time and also know-how.
Each industry is different. Yeah.
Okay, great. Yeah, I think that pretty much wraps up then what I wanted to find out today. And thank you for joining me. Hopefully we're going to do a lot more of these. I think we can create quite a useful video series from this that people will actually find value from, because LinkedIn and on all the feeds are full of AI generated content. This kind of content I think will be quite valuable, because we're talking about real things that actually affect people. Yeah.
So.
And we're not AI generated yet.
Sure.
All right.
Good.
Thank you.
Thank
See you
you.
next time.
All right. Yes.